She didn't hide from you. She laid down right next to you. That is the moment you still think about to this very day. Your cat was lying by your side, calmer than she had ever been. No restlessness, no resistance, just this quiet, warm closeness. And you couldn't help but wonder, did she know what was coming? Most people never ask this question out loud because they're afraid of the answer. But the answer is not what you might be fearing right now. Today, I'm going to tell you what science actually knows and what it doesn't. Because there is a deep difference between knowing and sensing. And cats live in that space in between like no other creature on Earth. Stay with me. What I'm about to tell you, you will never forget. There are 3 things that we can measure with absolute certainty. And one of them changes everything you thought you knew about this goodbye. First, we need to be completely honest about what science can actually do. Nobody can look directly into the mind of a cat. No study has ever proven that cats know they are going to pass away. That isn't a failure of science. That is simply honesty. But honesty always has 2 sides. Science cannot say that cats don't know it. What it can measure, however, is their behavior in those final hours. And what veterinarians witness every single day with their own eyes. And that is exactly where the story begins that you need to hear. Animal palliative care specialists around the world report the same thing again and again. Cats who sense that their bodies are getting weaker start seeking warmth. Not food, not their favorite toys. Warmth, body heat. And the warmest spot in any house is always exactly the same, right where you are. That is not a coincidence. That is deep, physical biology at work. Now comes the part that literally took my breath away when I first read it. Researchers at the University of Veterinary Medicine Vienna have measured cortisol. Cortisol is the stress hormone in cats, in humans, in all mammals. In the final hours of a quiet, natural passing, it actually drops. Not always, but in cats who are in quiet, familiar closeness, it drops significantly. That is not just a theory. That is a very concrete, physical measurement. A low cortisol level means one thing: no acute stress, no panic. What it doesn't mean is awareness, but it means something that is perhaps much more important. It means, whatever she was experiencing in that moment, it wasn't fear. Let that sink in for just a moment. Your cat experienced absolutely no measurable stress in her final hour. Not when she was with you, not when you were calm and present. Now you might be asking yourself, but did she still recognize me? This question hurts, because it is so deeply personal and so fragile. And the answer is a little more complicated than we would all wish for. A cat's brain processes scent far more strongly than any other sense. Up to 400 million olfactory cells. Humans have a mere 5 million. Your scent is not a detail to your cat. It is your entire identity. Even when her vision fades, even when her movement is completely gone, your scent remains. And to her, it means, I am safe right here. That is not romanticizing. That is proven, hard neurology. And that means, in that final moment, she was never truly alone. She was surrounded by the scent that had meant safety for her entire life. Try to truly picture that in your mind right now. Not a strange room, not a sterile clinic without you by her side. The scent of your skin, your clothes, the sound of your quiet breathing. That was her entire world, and you were right in the middle of it. Here is something that many owners have never even considered. Cats instinctively hide their pain from the outside world. It's their oldest instinct. Out in the wild, showing any sign of weakness simply means danger. But choosing to stay with you, that is no longer an instinct. That is trust. When a cat comes to you in her most vulnerable moment, it's not helplessness. It is the deepest form of bonding she knows and can possibly express. She wasn't seeking protection from the unknown. She was seeking you. Do you remember how she always used to lie on your left side? Or that one specific spot on your blanket that only she would claim? Maybe she laid exactly in that spot at the very end, too. That is no coincidence. That is anchored memory within the body itself. Cats develop precise, loving routines with their humans over many years. These routines sit much deeper than conscious thought, deeper than cognition. They are stored in the body, in the rhythm, in the habits of the heart. And even when the mind begins to fade, the body still remembers. The body, which knows, this is my place. This is where I am completely safe. Now comes perhaps the most difficult question of them all. Did she suffer? I know that you carry this question with you every single day. Pain in cats shows itself in very specific, observable signals. Changed posture, constricted pupils, ears pulled back, shallow breathing. If she was lying with you and was calm, that is actively not hiding pain. Lying quietly near a beloved, familiar human is pure physical relaxation. We can measure that. We can see that clearly and name it. You did the right thing by being there, not because it would have changed the outcome, but because your presence was exactly what is truly measurable. Cortisol low, posture open, breathing pattern calm and steady. These are not just words of comfort. These are actual data points. And this data tells us very clearly, she was completely at peace. Did she know she was leaving? The honest answer is, we don't know for absolute certainty. Not in the way a human rationally understands a medical diagnosis. But cats don't live in concepts. They live entirely and deeply in sensations. She didn't know the word death. She knew the feeling of warmth, of silence, of you. And if the last feeling she ever had was warmth in you, then that was peace. I want to tell you something that you might really need to hear today. You cannot say goodbye perfectly. That doesn't exist for anyone. But you can simply be present, and you were there. That is all that counts. If your cat came to you at the very end, she made a choice. Not out of weakness, but out of the deepest bond she ever knew. And if she withdrew herself, that wasn't a betrayal of you, either. That was just her way of going in silence, just the way she always lived. Science does not have a complete answer regarding the awareness of dying. Maybe it never will, because the inner life always remains a mystery. But what has been measured, what vets have witnessed, what you have experienced, all of that together forms a very clear, very quiet picture. And this picture shows absolutely no fear. It shows a cat who spent her final hour in her safest place on Earth. Right beside you. Tell us in the comments what you felt in that exact moment. Whether she was with you, or whether you couldn't make it in time. We read every single comment. Truly, your story deserves to be heard.